What is going on, guys? It is your boy, the Evil Goat, here coming to you guys with a brand new episode of our Pokemon Firered Randomizer Nuzlocke. This is the second episode. It is our upload for Tuesday, Thursday. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to upload. Pretty much going to be a surprise. Unless you follow me on Twitter, I will probably talk about it at some point. Today's goal for this episode is just to get through Viridian Forest. It was a pretty easy goal, and I'm saying it was a pretty easy goal. And the reason why I am using past tense is because my live commentary did not record. This is me going over our team. Beavis has Poison Point, Satu has String Graze. It's all the fun stuff. You can see over it. Leak Attack, Agility, Poison Sting, Leer, Absorb, Growth, off the Scarecrow with Water Veal. Did I run through everybody? I think I did. The original goal of this episode was just to get through Viridian Forest. We managed that in a pretty decent amount of time, actually. The episode is going to be right around 33 minutes long, which is a decent amount of time, but if I had just done Viridian Forest, this episode probably would have been something like 12 to 15 minutes long, and I was not having any of that. This was a bad start out for us. I wanted Mites to get some experience, but immediately they sent out a Rhydon, which is not very good for Mites, so we switched out to Beavis. I wanted to give Beavis some screen time, because I wanted to try and get Beavis to evolve. I wanted to try and get Beavis to be a little bit more of a hard hitter, a little bit more of someone who has a place on the team. Liquid Ooze comes in from the Rhydon. This is why randomized abilities come back to bite you in the butt. Let me tell you, folks, you're going to see later on in this episode a few abilities come back to bite us in the butt. However, for the most part, right now, the episode was mainly just trying to get through Viridian, trying to get maybe some encounters, beat gym leaders, things like that, just get as far as I can within a half-hour time limit, because I'm trying to make the half-hour time limit our goal. Now, we had a pretty decent showing for the first episode. We had a like or two come through, we had someone comment, say they liked the series, they supported it. And we also had around 7 or 8 views, I believe, last time I checked. I don't remember what it was when I started recording this commentary. But it doesn't matter at this moment. Right now, we're just trying to continue powering on, getting the schedule down to a grip. And let me tell you, after not recording for that long and not really having a set schedule, because the way I recorded and uploaded before, I pretty much just recorded whenever I wanted, and I just uploaded random games, and I didn't really have like a set schedule. I had like, okay, I'm going to upload at 4 o'clock. That was pretty much all I had going on. So I would pretty much just play with people, and then I would cut something out of the stream or out of the ring. I would just take a random good game, and I'd be like, oh cool, I'm going to trim that. I'm going to upload that. That was good. I'm trying to be a little bit more structured right now. I'm trying to discipline myself, make me use some of my free time in order to actually get some concrete content out to you guys. And I'm hoping I can get myself on a good schedule in time to just make this a regular thing. I want to make sure I do whatever I can to make growth possible, because when I was streaming, when I was uploading regularly, my growth was actually pretty decent, and I want to get to that point again. I want to be able to actually get content out to you guys that I obviously enjoy, and I enjoy this content. Excuse that if you hear that. That was my phone dropping. I enjoy content like this a lot. I enjoy Pokemon, I enjoy Nuzlocke, I enjoy just having a little bit of fun. That's kind of going to be the focus for my channel, as I've said before, and Mites never fails to get paralyzed. I did comment on it when the Thunder Wave comes through, but Mites is literally a status effect magnet. Literally. I don't know if there's ever been a battle that we've had Mites, even when it's grinding for the next episode, where we have not had Mites get paralyzed, which is a little bit ridiculous. Mites is actually a decent mon. It's been proving it has some power to it, but it keeps getting paralyzed. It keeps getting burned, things like that. And I did not realize this was a loot tone. When I was recording this, I mixed this up with a lantern, I believe. I was saying something like I didn't want to switch out because Mites wasn't weak to a lantern, because the water, the electricity, we don't have weaknesses to those of poison. I did not realize this was a Lunatone. It was a mistake on my part. almost costed us a little bit. It could have, especially if we hadn't switched out. We got confusion. If that would have been disastrous. Scarecrow, though, is really proving to be a good crutch for us. Scarecrow is proving he has some power to him, and I cannot wait for him to evolve, get that dark secondary typing as a tag turn. It's going to be some really, really good type coverage. So we end up getting the Lunatone out of here, and as you guys can see, we have not really had that many problems with these battles so far. We have some decent type coverage. The only downside is we have really bad weakness to fire type. Fire and flying types are going to be our crutch at the moment with the team we are running right here. Because we had a bug type and we had 2 grass types. Beavis is grass water, so the fire type was a little bit less worrying, but it was still pretty worrying. This Entei comes through with Drought. Really weird ability, kind of disastrous with the had Ember. I don't remember if it was good or not. However, we're just going to start wing attacking this guy with Statue. Battle of the Legendaries here. Battle of the Fossil. Battle of the Legendary Dog. The Sunlight is strong. I really hate weather effects. I understand they're really good if you use them strategically, and I enjoy and I appreciate them for that aspect, but as soon as it just gets to the point where it's an animation after every Pokemon moves, it is a little bit annoying. In my opinion, it just takes up a little bit too much screen time that I would like to reserve for actually playing the game. I feel like it slows it down a little bit too much. So right now we are just completely walking through Viridian Forest. I think we go through all in one go. I don't believe we run back to the Pokemon Center at all. We do end up having some pretty weak Mons by the end of it. But it's not the worst thing in the world. We end up getting through it. These bug catchers were, in a lot of my locks when I was playing alone, were actually a little bit worrying and a little bit daunting. They ended up with a decent amount of power. But this run through, these bug catchers are honestly not that intimidating. They have not had too many good moves or Mons. It's been pretty much a walk in the park. It's either been weak Mons or Mons we've been able to handle pretty seamlessly, pretty risk-free. Besides that nasty liquid ooze that was affecting us, we decided to stay in for this Charmeleon. And this was, when this Charmeleon came out, this is what made me realize we had such a weakness to fire and flying types. Because I wanted to switch Statue out, but I don't want any Mon to be really overloaded. I don't really want that to happen. But it's kind of hard to avoid when training these Mons when Flying and Fire types come in, because Statue, at this point in time, was the only Mon that we had to defend ourselves from. Every other Mon, if they had any fire or flying, they was a disaster. So Whalmer, I would have liked having a Whalmer as an encounter. Probably in favor of the Lotad. I believe we caught Cacnea or Scarecrow here. And I definitely enjoy having Scarecrow on the team, so I wouldn't give him up for anything, honestly. Right now, he has been a very good Mon to have on the team. He's shown his power even just with the sword. But I definitely would have preferred a Whalmer over a Lotad. I enjoy Whalmer, I enjoy Whaleboard, I enjoy the line and how beefy and how mighty they are. I enjoy it. I believe I switch out here. Do I stay in? No, I believe let's say it's a good idea for me to switch out because that rock typing was not going to go up against that water type. So we go into Scarecrow, get Confusion. So obviously, right now we're not really struggling. We have a good amount. I actually need to see this real quick, because I don't think I caught this in the recording. I believe because I was commentating, I might have looked over this. Just want to see something. Don't want to spoil it. Get it? I did not see that. That liquid ooze right there. Did not see it. I thought we just leech seeded this Boreas. We end up hitting it with the Absorb, knocking out with a critical hit, and watch Scarecrow's health. Lives on 2. We almost got killed by liquid ooze, and right here, this is me realizing it. This is why I paused, because I realized we just almost lost my preferred grass-type Mon because I did not pay attention, and I gave up an Absorb to liquid ooze. That could have been disastrous for the team. Not really, we still would have had that water grass typing, but I definitely prefer having Scarecrow on the team, and I did not enjoy nearly losing him. He was down to 2 HP because of Liquid, an ability that I honestly have very, very rarely dealt with. The Para comes through on Statue as well, but it's a solid 300 experience, levels up to level 13, and then we have a Voltorb coming in. This is what I mean when I said we had some pretty weak mons, but I was pretty deep into the forest, and I did not really want to leave. I didn't want to go all the way back, stay healed, just come all the way back to the forest, to run away from wild Pokemon. I'm a very, very lazy person that did not sound good. Voltorb begins charging power, which started to worry me when I was doing the live commentary, but I didn't realize my mic was not recording. Goes for a second one. We just can tackle spam pretty much right now. It's either tackle or trying to use Supersonic, which honestly worked out pretty decently for us. One of the other times in the last episode we used Supersonic when we got him on to hit itself 4 times in a row while we were tackling it, which was insane. We got $96 for winning here. Definitely pretty bad on cash. Firered at the start is definitely a game that is pretty difficult to get money in. At this moment in time, I was looking for Paralyzed Heals or Cherry Berries in order to unpara either Mites or Statue. I probably would have chosen Statue if I did have something. But right now, my only concern is just getting through the forest. There was one trainer left. I was pretty confident we were going to get through it. And at this point, we were about 12 minutes into the recording, 11 minutes into the recording. And I realized it was going to be a very, very short episode if we did not do something more than just Viridian Forest, because originally my plan was I was trying to compensate when I said I was going to go into this just doing the Viridian Forest. I was trying to compensate for potentially having some decent mons. These guys had some pretty breezy mons besides the 10k that we ran into and the random liquid uses. This was me going through Venus's moves just to see what he had, because I was focusing on the Quillfish's water typing, and that Poison Sting comes out. Completely forgot that Quillfish got Poison Sting. We live on 2 again. I almost went for the Potion Heal because I didn't want to deal with the Paras, but instead I went out to Might. We couldn't use Statue. I switched out of Statue purely because of the rock typing. I did not know if this Quillfish had a water type move yet, and I did not want to look it up in the Google report. Might does get Para, so we do not get hit. And this is where I believe I start speeding up during this battle, because I absolutely cannot stand accuracy falling moves or evasiveness raising moves such as Double Team, Minimize, Flash, Sand Attack. Cannot stand those, so I started speeding up. We were doing very little damage, we were getting full Para, we were getting Minimize, but Mites comes through with the crit, almost kills the Quillfish. We just need to land one more tackle on this thing, and we managed to land it. Mites is trying to prove his place on the team by landing tackles through Minimize spams. We finished Fisher, Dudley, and we were making jokes about Dudley Dursley and things like that, but this is Route 2, we do not get the counter on this route. I try and speed up just to get the Pokemon Center a little bit faster. And at this moment, this was when I decided I'm just going to go in. We have the time, I have a decent team, we're decently leveled. I come up to get this item that is hidden up here. It is just a red food. I believe it cures infatuation, which I hardly ever deal with in Pokemon games. I will use it if we ever need to, but wasn't really that worried. I believe I gave the wax incense to somebody. I don't remember who. I believe maybe Scarecrow. We did give it to Scarecrow. I don't remember if we use or sell the protein. I think I originally said I was going to keep it, and we might sell it later on. I do not remember. But right now, I did not know the levels of Brock. I don't know the levels before or after the 10% level increase. So this is me going through the attack just to see who I might want to use protein on, but I think I said I was going to wait until Beavis evolved. So I didn't use it. So right now, this was where I decided I was just going to go as in as I can and fight this gym, starting with this Pokemon trainer right here. We are 10,000 light years away from Rocky Full. That is a measurement of speed. Sends out a Curlia on us, which originally was a little bit daunting. I have a really good respect for the Gardevoir and the lane line, but this statue just eviscerated it. This Aerodactyl destroyed the Curly. It was 330 experience, and now we have the Pillow Slime coming in. I realized it pretty much wrecked my team. Ground typing would hit Mites pretty decently if I had a ground typing, and Ice typing would destroy literally everybody else on the team. So I switched out to Mites because I was kind of more banking on him not having a ground type move. I figured he would most likely have an Ice type move. I was banking on not having a ground type. Piloswine does manage to hit 7 years, and this is where we start tackle spamming. Actually, is it maybe right here? I thought maybe it was last episode that we got a Pokemon that hit us up 4 times in a row, but maybe it was this Piloswine. Actually, we are in a speed tie. I was hoping we were going to win that business. It is this Piloswine. That is 3 times in a row. That was a voice crack. This is 3 times in a row. That is Piloswine. Now 4 hits itself in Confused, making this battle probably one of the easiest I've ever dealt with. And then it goes for the Endure, which is unfortunate because I believe one more tackle probably would knock it out. So, actually, no, it doesn't. I believe it lives on like 2 HP after that tackle. Goes for the Endure again. Now it's living on 1. Now we go for the tackle. We win the speed tie. Endure does take priority, but it must not have gone for the Endures. We managed to beat this Piloswine. We don't even take a hit of damage, not even 1 HP gets taken. Now, this is me just double checking because I could not believe it. So I decided to lead off with Beavis here because I was not really sure what levels this guy would have, what mons it would have. I don't remember why I paused here. I think I was doing something. I was probably just doing something that was in the apartment or yelling at my cats or something, and now the cats are quieter this entire episode. Maybe it's good luck that my mic didn't record commentary and actually record post commentary because my cats were screaming their heads off when I was recording this last night. You can hear them in the background and they're screaming their heads off, wrestling at my feet, just trying to get my attention while I was recording. Wasn't really working out for them because I was in the middle of recording for the upload on YouTube. But I did give them some attention afterwards. I went to bed early and recovered, so all is good and well in the world. I do not ignore my cats. I just do what I am recording and then I pay attention to them afterwards. We switch out the statue because I realized the Absorb is not quite going to do enough damage. The Absorb does hit. It is neutral on statue because we have a rock and a flying typing. So it's super effective, but not very effective, so it's neutral. To hit the lead attack, just one-shot this thing into Oblivion. But the poison point does come through. I did talk when we went into this battle that Ditto did have the poison point ability, and when the Silcoon came out, I pretty much just started laughing. Very, very easy gym leader to fight a Silcoon, despite it being level 15, and a transforming Ditto was our gym leader. We do not Oko the Silcoon, unfortunately. It goes for the Harden. All is futile as we are facing the Aerodactyl with a wing attack. We do land the second one. Big plot twist right there. We actually beat the Silcoon with a crit when it was putting on 1 HP with the Aerodactyl. We overkill at this point. Get the 228 experience. Level 14 for statue. We're honestly decently leveled already, which is pretty good. I don't really have to worry about training up that much. Since Brock was level 15, I'm assuming this is going to be like around the 22, 24 kind of area. So a little bit concerning, but we do have a lot of trainers coming up. We have the Mount Moon that we can go through, a lot of trainers and a lot of Team Rocket individuals in there, and then we also have the Nugget Bridge, the route going to Bill's house. We have a lot of opportunities to get as well as those experience, so I would mainly not worried during this episode. We're decently leveled off. Let's stop at Pokemon Center real quick. At this point, we're about 20 minutes into recording. I was kind of iffy about continuing this episode, but I do decide to continue going. I do decide to at least get to the Pokemon Center. I believe we also get a more encounter. This is where I go into the Pokemon Mart. I believe I'm selling it to the end of potentially the Poké. I don't remember if I'm selling the Poké or not. We have been very, very lucky with items as well. we've gotten a few selling items, so we're not that hard on cash as I thought we were most likely going to be. This game, in the early game, is a very, very difficult to gain money to get like Pokeballs and potions and things, so the fact that we're getting a decent amount of healing items is amazing for us. I love it. I do not have to worry about spending money like that, although I did spend too much money. We had $0. I sped up through this little encounter so I get the running shoes. We're going to speed up a little bit last because I have a running shoes now, so everything is a little bit speedier. I'm trying to get through this with battling as few trainers as possible. But I did use too much of our money, actually. I needed $500 at the lead for buying the Magic Harp at the Pokemon Center up here. It is an encounter, a free static encounter. Yeah, not free, obviously, since I have to spend $500 to get a random Pokemon that would originally have been a Magic Harp. Statue does not gain level, neither does our Lotad. And this guy, the fire type mons were kind of shredding. Grumpig I was worried about. I stated for statue because Grumpig is actually a really decent hitter. We are 3 levels above this thing. We are Pterodactyl, and we took 11 damage, which is ridiculous. I know it's stabbed, and this is kind of where I started talking in the episode actually, where there are a lot, doing Nuzlocke, there are a lot of Pokemon that I did not have a lot of respect for, and I actually hit on here, but the Poison Man is come through anyway, so it doesn't matter. But there are a lot of Pokemon that I did not have a lot of respect or a good attitude towards for how powerful they actually were until doing an Nuzlocke, because you don't really have your choice in what your team is with Nuzlocke, because obviously it's like the first encounter that you hit on route. So I have been earning respect for a lot of other mons. This is just me testing out Nature Powers. I'm assuming it was Swift, and it was, so I'm surprised there. The Rapid Spin coming in, but they do absolutely nothing to this, because it is a very, very weak move and it's not stab. But Nuzlocke really put things in perspective for you when it comes to certain Pokemon, because all of a sudden these mons become a lot more apparent in how powerful they are. Like Cacnea, I never knew Cacnea was such a good Pokemon until I started using it in Nuzlocke. I did not know it was as good of a hitter as it was until I started using it in this Nuzlocke. And Houndoom comes out, which forces us to use Statue. And Statue is blazing a trail ahead of everybody else in levels because of these freaking fire types. He's getting so much experience for 3. He is, I think, 3 or 2 levels above, no, 1 level above our Pokemon reference sector, because Evis did just get level 14. We finally get a move other than the Wing Attack. Fortunately, we do get Bite, which is useful, and I did not know. I completely forgot Evis has a middle evolution. I thought Lotad went directly into Ludicolo, which is me playing myself for a fool. I forgot Lombre even existed. I was pretty excited about this because the stats were obviously going to be better, because now it is not a first, just a base Pokemon, it is now a second, it is now first evolution. I believe I run back to the Pokemon Center just to heal right quick, just to make sure we do not lose any Pokemon on this episode. It was like a disastrous for me to do that. I do not want. I want to have as few deaths as possible, which I think is a goal for every single Nuzlocke. But it is especially a goal for me because when I am doing Nuzlocks, I do some dumb things, and when I do dumb things, I lose good mons. I want to try and grow and be a better Pokemon trainer in these Nuzlocke as I move playing them. So far, so good. We have gone through 1 episode deathless. We've gone through most of a 2nd episode deathless. If you hear that in the background, I don't know if it's audible. That is my cat screaming at birds outside my window. He does that pretty much all day, every day. But we had some close calls. Yes, we had 2 close calls this episode, actually. 2 Pokemon living on 2. That is the theme of the episode. Unfortunate 2's is kind of our theme this episode. But we are fortunately blazing through this pretty easily after almost losing those 2 mons, which I'm very happy about. I did not want to lose any Pokemon. Cyber comes out, and we just switch out the statue, which is, I don't remember why. think I thought, I don't remember if Silo was part flying or had a wing attack or something maybe, and I didn't want to check the moves again. So I switched out the statue just to be safe. I got this far. I got about, 25 minutes into an episode without moving it on, and I just decided to go right in, get the encounter, and it is a freak Feraligatr. And I do not think I can hit this thing whatsoever, because we were 8 levels above it. Even a nature power may not know. I realized it is a second evolution mon, but I did not want to risk it. I don't think I risked it. I'm like looking through and trying to find the stats of who like our weakest hitting Pokemon, and I was debating right here going out to Scarecrow and spamming Poison Stings, but I decided to get Sid in case that we went poison. And at this point, I pretty much just said, you know what? I've done this before. I've randomly thrown a ball and it worked out for me. I've caught a Latias in a Pokeball, just randomly, just throwing it, just trying to. And as soon as I said that, we got 1, 2, 3, and a click. We caught a Feraligatr without touching it. 1 second. Sorry about that. My cat was on a counter he is not supposed to be on. I decided to grab a spray bottle. He's what he's not supposed to do, just to get him to get off the counter. He knows he's not supposed to be up there, but he kind of has an attitude, and I'm not good at being on, so I honestly named this after the movie that's coming out, the Megalodon movie. That is what I decided to name it after. So, now we're going up to the Pokemon Center. This is right around where I realized that we do not have enough money at all to get this Magikarp. We did not battle enough trainers. So we stopped in, talked to the dude about it, realized I'm about $104 short, which was unfortunate. So I believe I go for the Mount Moon encounter first, or I go back to fight Mons. I do go to grab this item. I don't remember what it was because it made it. My cat is making noises. He's getting hyper for some reason. I apologize if you can hear it. I just go for this item real quick in hopes to get a Mount Moon encounter while we are using it to get Meteor Mash, which is really good. Not the best accuracy, but our Mount Moon encounter is going to be a Butterfree. I was pretty sad about this. Not really my favorite line of Pokemon. Definitely not. I was really hyped actually when I used Shadow Ball for my nature power. I was super hyped about it. Was not expecting Shadow Ball to come out. And this Butterfree, let me tell you, a lot of our Pokeballs went into this freaking Butterfree. Because I wanted to get it. I wanted to get it for 2 reasons. 1, Butterfree is actually a pretty decent Pokemon, even though I personally don't like it. I do respect the fact that it is a decent Mon. So is Beedrill. Beedrill is a decent Mon as well. I just don't really like the lines personally. So I wanted to get it just because it could have been some power, it would have been some type coverage for our team as well. And I also wanted to catch it for Dupe's Claws and Species Claws. If you guys do not know what those are in a Nuzlocke, Dupe's Claws, if we run into a Butterfree as our first encounter, we get to re-encounter. This was a stupid challenge, by the way, because I did not know how much confusion was actually doing to us. So a crit could have killed us right there. But the other clause that we can use is Species Clause. Species Clause is if we run into a Caterpie, a Metapod, or a Butterfree in the wild as our first encounter on a route, we can re-encounter. We do not have to catch it. And as you can see, this Butterfree is driving me insane. At this point, I was pretty much yelling at the darn thing, getting the ball. I caught a Feraligatr and 1 ball, and the Butterfree isn't getting a freaking ball. And finally, after I said I'm only using 1 more before I wing attack this thing into oblivion, the Butterfree decided to get into the ball. He listened to me. He did not want to go down like that. He is going to be joining the crew. We are going to name him Ash because, again, I'm not good at naming Pokemon. And we get 1 more encounter here. We do battle someone and go to get Magikarp. And in between episodes here, for the Mons that are going to be joining the team, at the moment, Feraligatr 100% joining the team. There's no argument that Feraligatr is going to join the freaking team. It is a starter. It is one of my favorite starters. Feraligatr is one of my favorite cards. I don't know why I put the Lombre right there. It's actually because it's screwing with my... It's just driving me crazy. It's honestly driving me crazy. It deserves to be in the left corner. So I checked the money just to see how much we had, and I decided to go switch train Megalodon. And between episodes here, I don't know why I ran into the grass. I think it was an accident. I believe we battled. We did not battle this year. She has like a level 15 or 17 Pokemon or something after the 10% randomized increase. So we go to encounter, we go to a different trainer to fight them. We go for the Farfetch. This guy with the Farfetch. We don't go to battle the Farfetch. I decided to switch train Megalodon while we're out here against Cadaver and Farfetch, just for the gaining some money a little bit. And this is where I realized I have a hatred for a new move. This was me checking what moves it had, because I did use a Butterfree a lot earlier, and I think it had Confusion only at some level, and I didn't remember when it learned the move, so I was checking that. We go out to Statue. Statue is, again, a lot of experience. I don't know why I went for Wing Attack first. I shouldn't have gone to play initially, but Kinesis was driving me crazy. I decided to speed up through it because I hate accuracy following moves. Megalodon gets to level 9 off of that. Statue gets to level 16. We got $104 that we needed. So we're going to go back to the Magic Card. In between episodes, we are going to be training up some Pokemon. For the most part, I did not mean to do this, by the way. For the most part, this is going to be the end of the episode. The team is not going to have Lombre on it anymore. It's going to have Feraligatr, Statue, Arcacnea, Butterfree, Mites, and now Electabuzz, who are going to give them magnets. We're going to level these people up to level 13. For the most part, that is going to be the end of the episode. We have about a minute and a half left, so it's going to be just a little bit of an outro. I hope you guys enjoyed the second episode as much as you enjoyed the first episode. Remember to subscribe to join the herd. Remember to hit the like button to show your support for the series. Comment what your favorite Mon is in the team so far. Mine right now is Statue. He is pulling through so well. This is the team right here, by the way. This is what we're going with. Beavis, unfortunately, is going to be boxed. He put in some work. I appreciate him as much as possible for the little work he did put in for our team. But for right now, this is going to be the team. It's going to be Megalodon, Mite, Scarecrow, Statue, Ash, and Battery. We're leveling them all up to level 13 so they can be on par. And in the next episode, we're going to be going through the mountain, potentially going to another bridge. And I believe that is going to actually be where I can cut it here. There's about 30 seconds left in the recording, but I'm just going to cut that out because I have nothing left to say. Thank you guys for the support, and I hope you guys enjoyed the episode.